Alright, I believe everyone is ready and present, so we shall begin, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so last time this ending portion of the last session was kinda in a haze, so we kinda like went with the mosh pit forest encounter, and so we have to like solve this thing out and figure out when exactly did it happen. Because you would have gotten some wealth that you could have spent it on commissioning more items. But yeah, essentially the rest of the fight you had absolutely no problem in moping the remaining enemies that decided to not run away. One of the Fey Giant Toad just fucked right out. Wasn't interested in dealing with this bullshit, and then yeah, you were lying, rather the bodies of various beasts of all kinds were lying around you, and you were splattered with blood in their insides. Sadly, despite everything, Zixos was unlucky enough to someone dropped.
I think Julius's internet just dropped.
Oh, that's gonna be.
You had to jinx it.
You hate to see it.
I'm innocent of all crimes.
Yeah,
Except for the crimes against humanity.
What crime? What humanity?
Exactly, because you killed humanity.
Probably should have assumed that on one hand, maybe he made it, but on the other hand, yeah, the issue of internet is always a possibility. And I'm guessing Roll20 has just updates with delay. Because technically Roll20 shows that he's still on, but yeah, I know this program tends to has some delays. No, he's back.
I have been looking at another site, but I have not messed around with it yet. I think it's called Astral.
Yeah, I looked at it.
Yeah, I'm not. I was not interested. If I was gonna try anything new and there's like a program, to be fair, you have to like pay for it. But from what I've seen, like VTT Foundry seems pretty interesting.
Only the DM has to pay, so that one's good for that.
Yeah. And then again, it's a problem of since 2013 I've put like few thousand hours on Roll20, and I'm not sure if I had like time and desire to learn a new program.
I just wish they were free, then you could at least try, but
I'm definitely not using MapTool for DMing because that program is fucking held by a duct tape.
Oh, I actually have that program. I got it on Humble Bundle for like nothing. No idea how to use it.
Wait, which program?
Map Tools.
Isn't MapTool free?
I got like their pro package, so like Map Tools, like everything, the character stuff.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
No idea how to use any of it whatsoever, but
You have it.
At the very least,
Yeah.
VTT doesn't look like it's held by a duct tape, and it has like a probably more okay UI and whatnot. Anyways, let's hope that your internet will hold, Julius. So,
Yeah,
at which point you got yeeted out?
like at the very start. I rejoined when you guys started talking about the new system, basically.
Okay. So yeah, the fight in the forest has been mopped up. Zixos, however, was still unlucky enough that his body was ravaged by the enemies. And let's jump into that one thing. Because sure, Zixos might like return after the enemies has been cleared, but as it didn't happen immediately, as I mentioned last time, he did feel like this weird tug pull on his soul. And Zixos, as you were in that apparently still short moment, but still,
Yes.
your soul was not in your body. You were like dead for all intents and purposes. You have a vision. We see a flashback to the days of the past, back when you were still traveling or living or just spending time with your master, being taught by him. And I'm not sure what's like in your idea, in your canon. My head canon is that, well, your master might have been strict, but overall he was a gentle being, that he wanted to like see his proteges and pupils move forward. So the scene is very short. You don't hear what he's saying, but perhaps this is a scene where you like. And the vision is also not entirely clear. You cannot pick all the details around you. It's like more fluidy, like almost looking like through a mist. But there are some rough idea that you have that maybe this is happening in like a courtyard where you had like usually your training sessions. And your master is approaching you. Rather, you hear ghostly echo of footsteps. You feel a hand and this warm feel of landing on your like left shoulder. Zixus, training as hard as ever, I see.
Okay. Success turns around. Yes, master. As always. Yes, you taught me.
And then as you turn out and you'll say it, it's like in a blink. And you still, despite the fact that you have turned, you still feel that hand on his shoulder, but it stops feeling warm and friendly. It turns into an icy, deathly grip that starts to like squeeze your shoulder with anger. And as you look upon your master, where his face was supposed to be, where his eyes, usually glinting with smile and kindness, instead you see two empty dark sockets staring at you, and his face is twisted in a snarl of rage, of jealousy. And then the voice, as you like feel this momentary pause, the voice echo. He doesn't open his mouth, almost like it's sewn, but the voice distorted of your master starts echoing from all around. Apparently I didn't taught you everything. Do not usurp the place that you do not deserve, you wretched creature! And with that, the vision ends, because I imagine you'll be returning.
Yes, very much so.
Okay, Zixus, you return to the land of the living, seeing the rest of your party members probably shaking off the bloodied parts of the slaughtered beasts, shaking off the blood.
If anyone is paying attention, you see Success like basically snap awake, tears streaming down his eyes, shout, I'm sorry, whispering over and over again.
Well, good thing no one's seeing this or hearing this.
Good thing indeed.
I mean,
Anyway.
Of course we care about. Of course we care about you.
Yes, I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Well, after a little bit of how do I say? I don't-
Your voice just changed.
Yeah, I think your microphone switched.
Yep.
I keep keep fucking dragging out my microphone headphone.
Okay,
it's
now
so
it's
easy to pull out. But
okay.
yes, after a bit of like agonized apologization, Success like shakes his head and realizes that he's nowhere near that memory, nowhere near it all, and looks at his old his well friends in quotation marks.
I'll just be, oh, good. And hand him a carving knife.
Welcome back
For a
to
moment.
Success, the land of the living.
Success screams as he's Asterix probably just completely bloody butch as he hands me a fucking knife. Like, oh, it's just you, rival. Yes. What? And after a little bit of prodding, he would help you all carve out this giant fucking mess.
Can't say I've ever had fairy before. I imagine it will be delicious.
I have absolutely no fucking clue how a fairy would taste, or actually any of these animals, so I'm leaving
Like
that to
chicken,
you.
Really fucking weird.
Like
Yeah.
chicken.
Tastes like
Well, yeah,
chicken.
To be fair, everything tastes like chicken.
Slightly gamey with a hint of turkey.
You got that slight spice as well from the fairy duster.
Yeah, they probably like
I imagine it has a bit of an LSD effect to it too.
like the world shifts and changes, and you're eating purple.
Yeah, I've decided to like make your token medium size again.
Yep.
Okay, so I started thinking about it, and my idea how to like handle this in terms of timeline wise, because if you will see at the handout that I made actually between the sessions, but I'm not sure if someone decided to take anything from it. That in terms of like wealth, not an item, but wealth that you can use to commission items, you have like 2000 gold. And there are also from your adventures in the underwater temple, you did manage to find several items of interest. And normally, as I mentioned in chat, I normally don't do that, but my suggestion would be that to leave Goggles of Night for Cheruk.
Yeah.
Because that item, that item gives him dark vision, and sadly he's the only one that doesn't have one, so that would solve the issues in the future.
Yeah,
We
it's
should
like,
call this
who has
vision
dark?
stuff. No one needs that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, true. Like, we're all good enough. We don't need dark vision.
I think all of us can take one potion to cure moderate wounds, since we're all we're all melee characters, so we probably all need them.
Yeah, technically speaking, like you are a 5-man party, but sadly sometimes it's not full.
Well, I don't think Cheruk has really ever been injured, so.
Technically, I mean, sure, he's not frontline fighter, but technically speaking, I did burn him a little during the Pyrohydra fight.
Just a little bit, though.
Actually, it seems I have something for Cheruk in terms of fire, because I did burn his character at the start fighting that Naga.
I'm just saying, if he's within range of an enemy, it's probably his fault.
Yeah, I mean, it's your call. I just want to like make sure that when you take the item, so that actually there's only like one potion, and we then end up with 2 characters having that. But yeah, there are some potions that essentially you can each one of you can take one, because Blur and Cure Moderate Wounds it's in enough numbers. But yes, in general, the way I thought about it, how it would fit timeline wise, is that because these items and this wealth you would have gotten after getting to the base, after finishing with the underwater temple. So I'm thinking the sequence of events might have went like, you got back, assuming you will have any ideas, you split the loot and maybe commission something else with the Ulfgar. And as he's working, in the meantime, you decided to just, assist in a patrol, and remembering there was like this group of weird creatures skulking about, you just went out to hunt them, and this is why we ended up in the angry mosh pit.
Julius is showing his beautiful, beautiful mug, is he?
Yes, I finally got decent enough internet to do it. Join me, show your face. Donut, show your face.
You mean the internet that just dropped you out?
Well, that was my phone crashing, not the internet actually, but you know. What a shitty fucking phone. Anyway.
I don't think that was it. I don't think the Death Watch eyes are too useful.
Oh, they're... Good question.
And I even was nice enough to provide with you with links.
Then what's this circle of mind sight? Well, again, blind sense. Okay.
That's a pretty good item actually, but I don't know if we...
To be fair, that item has
pretty
some, not like a downside, but it has like a specific limitation.
I say, aside from the goggles of night, which give what, night vision? Dark vision.
Yeah,
even?
dark vision. So.
I say I vote that we sell. Well, I say sell the if we can the circlet of a mind sight.
I say the Death Watch eyes too, because well, it's a nice thing. I believe gold would be yes, would be better. Wealth would be better.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, let's sell the Death Watch ones, because no, they have uses, but not that many.
And if we ever suspect that something is dead, we can just go over to it and coup de grace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double tap.
Yeah.
So that's 2000 and that's 24. Okay, for simplicity's sake, I'm gonna say that if you give these items to Ulfgar so that he can just dissolve them into general wealth, air quotes, so that he can like reforge it into a different and craft it into a different item, then that means, and those two items, right? Because I don't want to do math one time and then you say that you sell more things and I have to do the math again.
Let's look through the potion. Are we allowed to sell the potions, or do we just want to keep those until they're useful?
I mean, I think it's like if you grab them, otherwise they get sold.
Trying to remember what's
Success is currently being a loot goblin to tell you if you want anything from his list.
You don't ever get to call me a loot goblin again, Julius. When you are quite literally playing a loot goblin.
We don't need the potion of dark vision. Are any of us actually wisdom based?
Success is.
Okay, so you can keep the potion of El's wisdom. Remove paralysis, yes.
I believe
Still
Arbor got that one.
Yes.
So you have taken Cure Mother, right?
Is that greater magic weapon or just magic weapon?
Greater magic weapon. Does anybody mind if I take the potion of
Full strength.
large potion, or does someone else want it?
And remove paralysis.
I may have bought a few.
Like I said, right now the only way I get big is one of my extracts. That's about it right now. I can only use that once a day.
You may have wanted that then.
Yeah, feel free to take it.
Okay, and Success, you are taking Good Hope and also Wisdom, right? Success?
Yes, I take the potion of false wisdom.
And Good
I
Hope,
have
right?
magic.
Yes.
Alright.
I have magic weapons and armor, so I don't need those oils.
Yeah, same here.
Blur and Bless. I'll take one of each.
Yeah, I'll also take one of the potions of blessed weapon, or the oils even, and probably blur as well. Actually, I think again that's just those. The blur and bless we can just divide by.
Yeah,
one.
probably the easiest way to is that the four of you take just one portion of blur and one oil of blessed weapon.
Yeah,
That would make it the easiest.
Is Bless weapon different from Bless?
yeah. Blessed weapon makes it count as a good aligned weapon for I think overcoming evil DR. I'm
So that'll be good to just have
90% sure. Pathfinder bless weapon.
We don't need an detectable alignment.
For the purposes of bypassing DR of evil creatures or striking evil incorporeal creatures.
Yeah,
Okay.
the weapon also becomes good aligned
Yeah.
because it can bypass the DR of certain creatures. Okay, cool. In addition, all critical hit rolls against evil foes are automatically successful. So every threat is a critical hit,
Oh, nice.
which is a nice little effect that I didn't realize about Blessed Weapon until I saw it in Kingmaker.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dark Vision, Greater Magic Weapon, Undetectable Alignment. We can all sell those. We can sell the Oil Magic Vestment. I'll take the Cure Serious Wounds potion.
Mm-hmm. I think you'll need it.
Either way, as long as someone has it, so in the event that one of us gets really fucked up.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna edit. Has anyone took Enlarged Person potion?
That was Zillow, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Are
Yep.
any of us charisma based?
Okay.
No, pretty much strength.
And
Shirk
serious
is a
wounds.
ranger, right? So
Which
he's
would be
wisdom.
Wisdom.
So we could sell the Eagle Splendor probably as well.
Yeah, true. I need 50, so that's the value of.
Unless we could just, or we could hang it on to someone starting to get real past us. So we're like, hang on a moment, drink a potion in front of them. It's like, all right, you like me now.
Oh damn! Those are second level potions. The potion of Blur. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so right now I'm looking at the list, so I need to like update that. So you will be selling, unless I miss something, Potion of Dark Vision, Oil of Greater Magic Weapon, Potion of Eagle Splendor, Undetectable Alignment, and Oil of Magic Vestment.
The ones that are there, yes, I think should be sold.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the caster level for the Blur potion?
Minimum level you can cast it.
Yeah.
A minimum level.
Mhm.
So 5, I believe, or is it 6? Let me check Blur.
Well, it seems to
Blur
depend on the
is,
class.
I'm pretty sure, on both Sorcerer, Wizard, and Cleric. And if it's 3rd level, it'll be 5th level.
Mm-hmm.
It's second
Blur
level.
is a second level spell.
So it'd be
So-
cast at level 3.
So 3 minutes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. 3 minutes duration. Then I just now need to put in Potion of Blessed Weapon, which I think that one just lasts for 1 minute because it's a first level spell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just give me a while, I need to like write down the monetary stuff. So Death Watch would sell for 2,000, and then I'm gonna like recalculate how much wealth each one of you would get.
Sure.
Circle of Mind Sight is 22. Okay, and then the potions themselves, because suddenly it's not. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, I did not add that 2,000 GP of wealth.
Yeah, I'm gonna recalculate like from the items sold, we'll get to that, but starting even up aside from that, each one of you has like 2,000 worth gold of like worth of wealth. So like gems, basically stuff
So
that you can like
2,000. So 2,000 GP each.
starting, and then I'm gonna calculate stuff.
I forget, you have 2 ring slots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
two
what I
rings.
thought. 1 for each hand. But
Mm-hmm.
you don't get more for having additional hands because reasons.
Yes.
Balancing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Now do I grab a Headband's Inspired Wisdom or something interesting?
Fucking hell.
I got a ring of protection, so
Yeah. So,
We're kind of this kind of party, aren't we?
Mhm.
yeah. I when I had Corin come back in, I got a ring protection +1. So
Yeah,
that's
let me get the big 6, then I can get some interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I got his AC up to I managed to get Corin's AC up to 24, which I'm feeling pretty happy with.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's weapon, armor, belt or headband for your main stat.
Mm-hmm.
Ring of protection, amulet of natural armor, and cloak of resistance. This is the big 6.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
should probably get a cloak of resistance or an amulet of natural armor just to further boost up Corin's AC.
Oh, resistance. Cloak of resistance is for saves.
Yeah, I know, but yeah,
Alright.
just get like an amulet of natural armor to get that AC up to 25. Possibly grab shield focus at some point to get that up to 26.
Yeah, I'll probably grab the cloak because, I won't have a -1 then.
Yeah, he'll have a 0.
300, 300,
I do.
I-
750, and then
I did.
2000, and then 22. Alright, and then it's 26. I think this is how you should split. Okay. So apart from that 2000 separate, then each one of you from the sold air quotes items to Ulfgar, you have like 5200 worth of wealth.
Could you write that down?
It's in the chat how I...
Oh, nice. Sorry, didn't realize. So that's total, including the 2000?
No. So adding 2000 is like 7000. 7000 to 60
Yes, thank you very much.
total.
Well, that is an amulet of natural armor.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a classic one.
I think I'm also probably going to get an amulet of natural armor. I just now need to go to the wondrous items list.
It's 2000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Now the question is, do I try and get his Bector Corbin up to +2, or do I get his suit of armor to +2?
Or get a cloak of resistance for +1.
How much is that?
That's 1000, I think, for a cloak of resistance.
Could also get I'm pretty sure I could also get a belt of giant strength as well, because I know there's 4000.
Well, let's get an enhanced bonus for my armor.
Cloak of resistance +1 is indeed 1000 gold. +2 is 4000.
Let's see.
How much is the belt? How much is the belt of giant strength? 4000. Oh, what's the best way of going about this? That's the question. I think my AC is high enough as is. What's your AC currently?
Now it's hitting 20.
Okay.
My AC is never high enough.
Okay, so keep in mind that'll be 20. Okay, that'll then be 21 when you're when you're within 10 feet of core, and then it'll become 22 if you decide to lock shields.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a buckler actually.
Yes.
And it'll go higher once I get words.
Okay. I'm gonna grab a belt of giant strength +2, because I think boosting up my strength is what I kind of need to do right now.
By the way, whenever possible, if you will be able to like write down the items you're commissioning to Ulfgar, because I won't be doing like super detailed calculations, but I want to see roughly how much time will have to pass for him to like finish all of this stuff.
Then low resistance.
And if possible, if you'll be able to like write down how much it costs, because technically crafters go like with the rules that it depends. They can like craft 1000 gold worth of items like.
That's
Are we paying full price or crafting cost for these?
Full price, I believe.
Let's go for full price. I don't want to like.
Damn.
I can't afford the cloak. I've just realised. I thought it was 2,000. It is in fact 4,000.
Plus 1 is 1,000.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of the +2 version. I don't know why I thought it was 2,000. Okay, an amulet of natural armor costs, and a +1 version costs 2,000. So 4,000. Yeah, I can afford all that actually. So let me just rewrite this out again. So.
Alright, what was that cool ass item I wanted to grab?
Who wants to give me 80 gold?
I can.
Alright, because that will let me get 3 things.
Oh, that's so it's 2,000.
And what are those 3 things?
Well, pretty much the exact same thing that Donut just got.
Yeah. How much did you say you needed?
I needed 80 gold because I had 9920.
Okay, so if I take off 8, so that goes down from 36 platinum to. Yeah, sure. There you go. Have 80 gold.
Danke.
1k. That's 3. That's 5.
And I am now broke.
9, 10.
Yeah.
12. 16. 17, 19.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay.
Change. Skip the amulet. I forgot I got Mighty Fist already.
Okay. Does that mean you don't need the 80 gold out of curiosity?
He could get a ring of protection instead.
That is true. Yeah, grab a ring of protection instead.
Rings are on their separate magic item list.
Yeah, ring of protection does cost 1,000. Ring of protection's 2,000. So yeah, that'll work out to the exact same. Now, what's the weight balance of giant strength?
Alright, so what would be a good thing to grab outside of the amulet then? For
Ring of
2,000.
Grab a ring of
Alright.
protection.
I already have one.
Oh, okay.
I'd say the second one, but deflect bonuses not stack.
Alright, then I can do that.
What
No,
do you
deflect bonuses do not stack.
what do you currently have in terms of magical items?
Amulet, Mighty Fist +1, Ring of Protection +1.
And the one, okay, you're going to be getting a belt of giant strength and a cloak of resistance. So we can still try and find something for the 2k price.
Yeah, that's what I've been looking at.
Get a first level wand. That's 750. Though, none of us are casters, so we'll need you and me to use it.
We've already got next slot. We've already got the cloak of resistance.
I'm going to look it up on Nethys.
Just out of curiosity, does your character wear armor? Sin?
Yeah, he's got a Masterwork chain shirt on right now.
Okay, that answers that question.
because I was trying to find what I could do to help, compensate my bad stuff until I get to, what's it, 6, I think it is.
It's a shame that you're not using a weapon, because I think this is one of my favourite sort of unslotted items.
What's
Well, I
that one
know-
do?
For the 4 points of Constitution damage, you can fill this thing with 4 charges. When you speak a command word to draw on 1 or more charges, you cure 1 point of that. Is that what I'm thinking of?
Why does using a weapon have to deal with it?
Because it says attaching it to the handle of a weapon, technically.
I mean, he could just buy a dagger and...
Yeah. So yeah,
Well,
you can.
Which technically I do have a weapon. I grabbed the that hand axe from our first fight,
That is true.
just in case.
But yeah, it's so you can either speak the first command word to draw on 1 or more charges from the reservoir, you get 1 point of physical ability score damage per charge used. Alternatively, you can speak the second command word to imbue yourself with a great burst of physical prowess, deploying all the remaining charges and getting an inherent bonus to 1 physical ability score equal to twice the number of charges used. Which means that if you wanted to go all out on an attack, you just deplete all the charges and you get a +8 bonus to your strength for like 1 turn. Well, a +8 inherent, which would equate to a +4 modifier increase. Which is still pretty absurd.
+4 to hit, +4 to damage.
Yeah. So I might have to grab that at some point. That's a really cool item. I had it on one of my old characters.
It also feels kind of fitting for the alchemist that changes his own body.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Stop.
So yeah. Anything more we need to buy? Success is poor.
I can't think of anything. I'm just quickly writing all this down.
Okay, the way I look at it, and I'm probably taking the most beneficial, even going for like the shortest, the best interpretation of the rules and trying to shorten time as much as possible, and assuming counting that Wolfgar has everything in terms of crafting. With the amount of stuff that he has to do, if you are willing to wait for all of it, then I'm gonna say it probably took like a day or 2 to like hunt down that group of weird animals, and then you have essentially 4 days of waiting.
If he's optimized, are you multiplying the progress he can by 4 due to the valet familiar with co-op crafting, and then by fast crafting?
I essentially thought that normally, because I'm saying that general he would have like 25,000 worth gold of items to craft, and I essentially assumed, I just didn't do like proper calculation. I just thought, okay, with everything that he has, then probably he can shorten that by 20, like he can make all of this in like 25% time needed.
Basically, yeah.
So that essentially comes like 6 days, 6 and like a quarter of a day. So 6 days, because normally it would take like 25. Because normally it's like 1,000 gold per day.
dwarven wizards can speed that up with their favorite class bonus, and then with a high enough spellcraft check and a valet familiar, you can double that twice. It's glorious.
Like we discovered in that Final Fantasy game. Oh, this is going to take 4 days. No, it in fact takes 1. Oh, sorry, 9. Was it? Something like that. I can't remember how long it originally took, but yeah.
Alright, there we go.
I just found a slotless cape, so you can wear 2 capes.
What's this? Isn't the slotless cape like the one that acts as a shield?
No, it's Cape of Bravado plus 1 to AC for 7,000.
What's the bonus?
Insight.
Okay. Well, I guess you said it's 7,000?
Yes, and once per day as an immediate action, you can try and compel an opponent to attack him. Attack you.
Oh,
It's
nice.
only 11
What?
will DC, but you know, it's decent.
My god, that's such a Zixus item.
I'm definitely going to be picking it up myself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what would be like a cool item that would fit Corin.
I've got the Storm Lure, which I'm gonna flavor as a success ability, so we'll see about that.
Corin is... What weapon do you use?
He uses a Bector Corbin alongside a heavy shield.
There's... What the hell is Bector Corbin?
It's basically a hammer on a long stick with a like dagger at the bottom, not dagger, a spike on the other end.
Imagine someone decided to cross over a Lucerne hammer with a halberd,
Okay.
and you get this monstrosity.
The fuck?
Lucerne hammers are great.
Yeah. But yeah, he uses a Bector Corbin. The upside is, thanks to the elephant in the room feat tax, Corin can use any sort of polearm and still get the benefit of his of essentially weapon focus.
Mm-hmm.
It being, I think, called like martial mastery in it.
Okay, I thought about it some more, and my final call is that I'm gonna say that it's not shorter because apart from you guys, Ulfgar has also other shit to do. He's essentially every time you like go up to him, he's always stacked with work. He's like work over his head because he essentially the guy for the entire fucking camp of survivors and the guild. So I'm gonna say that when you'll be moving out properly towards the monastery, it will be on the dusk or at the very early morning of day 12.
Sure.
The previous session was around like day 8, so I'm gonna say that you essentially spent like a day or two of like wandering, patrolling about and basically hunting down that group of animals to ensure that other non-eternal survivors will not get slaughtered by them.
Yeah.
Early morning when they move out for like a longer thing. Preventing questions, I'm gonna say for now mounts are not a thing. Sadly, many things they were able to save, but animals were not one of them.
As well, nobody rolled a cavalier.
Well,
Perhaps there are some magicians that can cast Shadow Steed or Spectral Steed. The fucking spell that allows you to have like a...
It's called Mount.
It's literally called Mount.
Yeah, I had that fun with the my summoner. I was turning him into a cavalier in a sense.
All right.
However, there will be say like a day or two as you're like milling about. So the question is, definitely you would have seen that that one time Malgarius and Goldbane and his crew returned but it's up to you if you're like interested about what the other team was doing and if they found out anything interesting. If you are not interested in social scenes with them, then we can like skip over that. I just like wanted to mention that yes, technically speaking, other NPCs are also doing stuff in the background, but I'm not wanting to like put it in your face if you are not really interested to know what's going on. In their case, because well.
I'd like to hear at least a summary. If no one else wants to.
I'm not sure what to say to them, but we'd ask about what's going on.
That's perhaps like during the night because it's sometimes not many things to do, so like exchanging stories and jokes and whatnot is possible. So, two main things happened for that group, mostly because of Malgarius and Vorver, who is also on the lookout for any dangerous stuff that needs elimination. So, on one hand, they did check out the because I imagine you did mention that this burning child thing in the temple. So they went to secure that, and because Malgarius is a part of the team that's essentially built around specialized in handling undead threats, he was also able to determine how to deal with that undead, because while you did learn that it has a binary state, the final way to defeat that enemy, because if you just activated the child and beat it, so like destroyed it in a combat, it would still reform, because it had, and I might as well like copy that, because it has this thing, Final Embrace. However, Malgarius especially was able to remember that to properly send this childlike soul to final rest, you need to embrace it in peace and survive, not only make high diplomacy checks, but essentially survive 3 rounds of being burned by the aura. Because Burning Child has a flame aura. And yeah, probably if it came up in the discussion, Malgarius would commend you for not necessarily unneededly provoking the spirit, because that way you have avoided pain, because it also has a breath weapon, which normally deals that much. So you get commendation from Malgarius that you were not antagonizing an undead tortured child, and he was able to send it to rest. The other thing that they mentioned, and technically that land site was mentioned towards the start of the campaign as one of the areas that you could investigate. So they have finally decided to give it a go and figure out what the fuck is going on with the dead tree, because in the forest was a portion that was completely like partially deforested, partially like the entire foliage just died around, and yeah, that weird tree had stones and chains going around it. They also mentioned they had to deal with several shadows that appeared when they were investigating. And actually, on that case, he would. Now, would that thing had summoning circle? However, also during the discussion, you would become aware that, as he's describing it, there was no summoning circle around that tree. However, as they were like, doing a brainstorm and showing and saying what they were seeing on the stone tablets, like some runes, inscriptions. Some of it started sounding vaguely familiar to what you have seen in the underwater temple. And that leads to the idea that perhaps that dead tree was also a site of summoning. Unnatural one, because it didn't look like it was like used off, like it seemed like it was one of thing, while your findings seemed like they are like more stationary. Not stationary. What's the word I'm looking for? Reusable, more permanent. And also, I'm gonna show one more thing, because I had to like think over the various locations and the intelligence that I've gathered from kobolds, rather the other members gathered, and they like describe to you what is possible, what is known on the island, with whom the Golden Salamander tribe had contacts. So perhaps a little bit small retcon, but generally speaking, this is how I went about in terms of like that Sahuagin tribe, that Broken Trident is mostly to the south. There are also like 2 other locations that they only had like, you know, warning signs, and they were not really described by the kobolds. And there's all the information that Malgarius, perhaps with some little backup from me alone, he will be going east to check that out. While obviously the path to the monastery, or assuming there's a monastery there, remains. The Rotten Claw is implication that it might belong to other denizens of the water, like these fuckers that attacked you at the start, plus maybe some more rotting kind. Perhaps undead, or it's not like entirely clear. While Klinske is, you know, lizard folk, maybe some kobolds, but mostly lizard folk. But just to confirm, I'm assuming you will still be taking path through the like going up the river, then probably beginning to hike up the mountains to search for the monastery. All right. Let's see. Can you write me down your movement speeds? The tactical ones. Because technically speaking, there are rules for overland movement.
What's the flexing on a Zilla?
Well, Blood Rager, you get extra, 10 feet of movement.
You are now Koran's mount.
Ride, my steed, go!
Just
Pretty much, if I did do a large person, I probably would be considered a mount at that point.
Yeah, you did literally would. Anyone with a lance could ride you to get double damage.
Okay, so for the sake of simplicity, it won't be like exactly that, but this is like just a rough estimation. We are looking at around 260 miles of travel. Obviously, I'm not counting in like the difficult terrain, just like the, let's say, distance itself. We'll like start the basic calculations. And the question is, I assuming not, but I have to ask that you probably won't be leaving Koron behind. because there's an entire table that, depending on your like tactical move speed, it shows how much you can like walk during like entire day of traveling.
I mean, he could take off his armor while we're actually moving,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Random encounters would be a bit of a pain for him, but I think he can do it.
but
No.
I forget. With Eternal, do we have to worry about fatigue?
Let me double check.
It's a fair point.
Yeah, because there's also the case of like forced movement and whatnot.
Mhm.
To be fair, just as I probably showed that in one of the previous sessions, the DC for avoiding, or rather not avoiding, but basically the DC for like survival going through gets higher during the night because, well, night.
The only thing I can say is that eternal creatures do not age, eat, sleep, or need to breathe, and they're immune to magic versions of those effects.
So we could just travel during the night, but yeah.
So instead of forced march, we're just not stopping.
Yeah.
Which I think technically, because we don't eat, drink, or anything.
So we're
Yeah, but
basically double
I
speed at
think
that point.
it still doesn't include like fatigue, exhaustion.
Yeah,
Because
we
you can
still get fatigue and exhaustion.
Yeah, you can still
It's
tire
just-
out your body. You just don't have to eat or sleep and whatnot, but
I still
But
think we
like-
get a bit more movement.
Like, if we go at a normal, non-tiring pace, we can effectively go forever.
So we're. So yeah, I think we'd be about twice as fast walking, but we'd only be walking.
I mean the table only assumes that if you're going like full day of overland movement, it's you just can't hustle, just like walk, and these miles are showed in like walking. So
Well,
for
That's also like, you could basically double that. Because we're not stopping, we're just not hustling.
It just says that if you walk for more than 8 hours in a day, you make a forced march.
I think it also seems to assume that there is going to be sleeping that occurs.
because technically speaking, you don't have to eat, but it's still a matter of rest. Because no matter what, you do not have infinite amount of power. You can still tire yourself out, unless
Yeah.
some of
We just put ourselves into undead.
unless some of you have like immunity to fatigue and exhaustion.
Don't think
Which
so,
is
sadly.
hilarious when you can get it, but I think the only one of us that's going to be getting that is probably Zillow over there, because I've told him how to.
But-
And because
I
rage
know what-
cycling is a thing.
Oh yeah. Yes, the joy of rage cycling. And also, I almost did the dying because of the rage cycling the one day.
Okay, so if we will be doing in a way that Coron actually can move 30 feet, then starting from a baseline, and then we're gonna like add whatever of force march you want to do, because at the baseline normally if creature has 30 move speed, you can go normally without force march. It's like 24 miles per day. If you have 40 feet, that is increased to 32 miles, but I'm gonna assume like you will stick together, so 24 miles is a baseline. Now with the stuff that you have, and
Zillow walks 10 feet closer. Can we give that 10 feet to Koran? So we can walk 10 feet faster?
Yeah, I'm just saying. If we ever get around, I don't trust coming out of my armor.
Here you go. What I'll do is, as we're walking, I'll just grab him, move him forward with us. I'll take like the 10 foot reduction. So I just pick you up and move you along.
okay, I allow it, just for the
I'd imagine if
amusing
we're going
image.
through like forest, if we're going through like forest and stuff, I'd imagine it as like him helping him over like fallen trees and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You're just aiding him, when it's heavy, and Gordon's strong enough for the rest of it. So yeah. We
Okay.
march.
So then, and then. Honestly, let's establish a baseline like how much you can go in the force march, because the force march starts at DC 10, and then it's +2 per extra hour. So
How long could you force march Zilul?
I mean, it's not 42; it's Constitution check.
Oh, that's the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
Well,
Big said.
I wonder, what would I roll with a whole +1? Yeah.
This is why ability checks are dumb.
Well,
I mean, it is what it is.
yeah, I'm just curious about something though.
Okay. Not if we're going with that. If anyone else is doing force marching, then the rest of the party can also roll.
Let's see if let me
Actually, let's look what share you could have.
4 6s.
Oh dear lord. Here.
And I'm
Why
the
am I
only one with that. I'm the only one with that con modifier as well. What is this?
Oh my god. I'm just imagining us being like, we're immortal. We can do this. Like fucking exhausted, lying there like corners. My fucking Karen is like, what are you guys doing? Get off of it.
There you go. Can I just say I did it through, sheer strength alone? There you go.
I mean, you can carry Coron, but still it's Constitution check, sadly.
Yeah, my strength.
I mean, Cora's the one that's managing fine.
Yeah, because you're being carried.
Yeah, if I had all my buffs on, my con's actually +4.
Nice.
But
And
yeah,
my
that shows
strength-
like a baseline, and